So if we can go to Véronique Sanders of Haut-Bailly. Véronique.
Thank you, Neil. So Haut-Bailly is a property which is American-owned since 1998, when my family sold it to Robert Wilmers, a banker who was actually nominated Best Banker of the Year in 2011 in the US. But he used to love to say he was not a banker from New York, but a banker from Buffalo, upstate New York. That way people would remember him better. So this property has also a tremendous history, 800 years of history. And all the owners of Haut-Bailly were very strong personalities, big characters, and we had a few amazing guys, and one of them also had a nickname. His nickname was Le Roi des Vignerons, the King of Vintners, because he was inventing lots of products, machines to fight any kind of things, including American Woodstock a century ago. He was against it. So he was passionate about Haut-Bailly. He gave us one of our golden age. In 1955, my family came in 1998, Bob, and he helped us to move fast in the last 25 years because he agreed also on investing a lot. And as you know, to make such great wines as you have today, it's also about investing permanently in the vineyard, in the cellars, investing ideas, concepts, and money. So it's actually, it has been a big benefit for Haut-Bailly to have Bob. Haut-Bailly is also known to be a great terroir. A great terroir is a combination of three things. It's a combination of a topography, and we are on the highest point of the appellation of Pessac-Léognan in the Grave. So we are staying on the left bank, but we are south of Bordeaux. The second thing of a terroir is its microclimate, and we have the one of Bordeaux, of course, which is normally known for mild temperatures, mild things. It's changing, but still. And every single estate has its own microclimate, and the one of Haut-Bailly is fantastic. And the third thing is the soil and the subsoil. The soil is made of gravel, and remember that we are probably one of the only one region in the world carrying the name of our soil, the little gravel that you can find. And the subsoil at Haut-Bailly is very interesting, and we have a big part of the property which has lots of clay. And as you know, clay can help you, especially in hot climate, when you have a deep rooting system, and Haut-Bailly has never ever in its history used any weed killers. So our rooting system is vertical and deep, and that will help us, that had helped us a lot in this 2015 vintage. I consider that 2015 vintage is an outstanding one for many reasons. The first one is that we had an ideal weather. And we started the year with water table full. So when we had all the droughts, we were able to manage the hydric stress, and the hydric stress was actually positive. And I have a very clear souvenir of looking at the vineyards and seeing this green, healthy leafage. The vineyard was healthy all the way, and even until after the harvest. And when you look at the leaves turning beautiful in November, yellow, orange, and you know it went to the end. So this aesthetic pleasure I had when I was looking at the vineyard, I knew we would find it in the glass later on. So and for me, this vintage is also corresponding to the definition I grew up with, and I started almost as Henri, almost 30 years ago. We grew up with the definition of a grain vintage being an easy one. And with 2016, for me, it's the last two great vintages which were done under this definition. They was easy. And when I look back, I'm thinking we were really lucky at that time. Because since then, we did a series of great vintages, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23. But God, what a work. And also we lose part of the crop now every year. It's much less volume, much less quantity. And 2015 was generous. And we used to say in Bordeaux that a great vintage is a productive one. It's generous in volume and also great. We had last night a Cosette Tournelle 89 and we were discussing that. And it is true that that was another time. So the Haut-Bailly 2015 as a particularity, we had for the first year, that year, a tiny percentage of Petit Verdot d'eau which were planted a few years before. We always had some Petit Verdot d'eau in our blends, but we never mentioned it because they belong to the very old vines which are in front of the chateau and which are a field blend of 6 different grape varieties. So those vines are 100, 120 years old, and they were planted by previous owner. And it's a field blend of mostly Cabernet Sauvignon. So we have 1/12 of Merlot, 1/12 of Malbec, 1/12 of Cabernet Franc, 1/12 of Petit Verdot d'eau, and 7/12 of Cabernet Sauvignon. But we always had very old Petit Verdot d'eau. But since 2015, every blend of Haut-Bailly has 3 to 4% of Petit Verdot d'eau. And we actually have less Cabernet Franc than we used to have because we didn't keep all the Cabernet Franc, which were not performing extremely well at Haut-Bailly. So the result of this year, for me, is that you have Merlot, which have quite a bit of structure, and Cabernet, which have this charm, this elegance, and usually it's the opposite. But when we have that, we actually know it's a great vintage. When we are working on the blends, when we have the opposite character for each grape variety, we know that we have in our hands a great vintage. And that was exactly the case that year. And the result is something which is made of power, but softness. It's never an aggressive power. And lots of silkiness in the tannins. So I guess this wine has everything a great Bordeaux should have, meaning freshness, elegance, drinkability, and capacity to age. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.